Sometimes life throws up the most unexpected surprises. Our next guest was depressed, obese and unemployed, but Brian Fleming did have a mobile phone app called Draw Something, and through it he found a woman who changed his life. Please welcome Brian, who is in Detroit, and that woman who changed his life, Jackie Eastham, who is in London this morning. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. Right, we might start with you. You were going through a pretty rough patch before you actually met Jackie. What was life like for you back then?
Gosh, I was over 600 pounds. I was drinking heavily, and I was depressed. I was a bit of a shut-in. I didn't get much exercise, and I, watched television all day long. So.
How big did you actually get?
I was just over 625 pounds.
So about 250 kilos. It's just a huge amount, and an incredible effort to lose it as well. And it strikes me that the magic of the internet is that it can bring people who feel isolated and lonely together. How did you actually get in touch with Jackie, Brian?
I was playing a video game called Draw Something, and we got randomly matched up. And we started talking, getting to know each other better, and became friends by playing that video game. And I eventually opened up to Jackie, and I one day told her, how much I was drinking and, how big I was. And she basically told me I was throwing my life away, and she got angry with me. And I decided then and there, I would just, quit drinking and started to eat healthy. And I'm 19 months in now, and I've gone from a size 60 waist, which I have a pair of my old pants.
Wow.
Right here, and now I'm down to a size 38.
Wow. Jackie, tell us what you initially thought when you met Brian, and how low was he at that point?
It was interesting because he'd kind of smoke-screened how big he actually was. So I was aware there was something to do with his drinking. He had told me he was obese, but hadn't drawn that out to me. I had no idea what that looked like in terms of person in front of me, because I didn't know anybody that big. And also the drinking, we evolved from Draw Something to Facebook friends and then later to Skype. But as Facebook friends, I recognised there was a character change with him occasionally, and it turned out he was drinking, and we basically had a gloves-off session where, I explained I have myotonic dystrophy, it's a form of muscular dystrophy, and I struggle. Well, I say I struggle. I try very hard to keep healthy and keep active, to keep my muscles working. It's a progressive disease, and it affects the muscles and, in fact, all the systems of the body and the organs. So I have to keep on my toes to keep healthy. I was just so angry with him for throwing his life away at that point. He was 30 years old, he was drinking himself, to an early grave, and he needed to lose weight. And
Jackie, you weren't just tough. I mean, you had no pity. I mean, you socked it to him, didn't you?
No, I did, yes. I gave a good British sort of, hard feedback. I'm not one for self-pity, and I felt that he was being a bit self-pitying, so I gave him enough to kind of motivate him to do something to change himself. Well, that was the wasn't the intention, but that was the end result, and I was glad it worked out that way.
Mm-hmm. Brian, did you sort of need that really tough advice to get your life into gear and to stop drinking and lose the weight?
Yeah, that's exactly what I needed to hear. I needed her to get angry with me. I think I expected sympathy from her, and I got exactly the opposite. And that's exactly what I needed to hear, I think.
Did love ever blossom between you two?
We're very good friends.
We are very, very close. We're best friends, definitely.
Oh, that's what all secret lovers say.
Could be a Hollywood movie in your friendship, you never know. Guys, thank you very much for joining us. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And following that rapid weight loss, Brian needs to have some surgery, and you can help him out by going to his GoFundMe page, which is at gofundme.com/Brian Fleming. All right, some big